as we're recording this right now, we are 2 subscribers away from reaching 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching on someplace other than YouTube, come on over to YouTube, subscribe real quick, and then, you can head on out. Ross, we'd be closer if you subscribed.
I promise you, Gene, when we get 1 away, I'll put us over the top.
You'll think about doing it. I got it.
I almost regret not subscribing now.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
So let's talk about those members of Congress that are trying to obstruct ICE from doing their job and are fighting tooth and nail for all of these illegal immigrants who, think about the people that they're getting rid of, like this guy in Boulder, Colorado, violent criminal histories, and the Democrats are standing up for these people as if they are, everyone is a common thief saving their family from starvation. And, it's the typical Robin Hood class warfare story that's out there. Apparently, a new talking point coming out of Democrats is that ICE agents should not be wearing masks. Probably because Democrats like to dox people, and Democrats like to put people's personal and public information out there and then watch what happens. Let's look at this clip. This is from perennial buffoon Dan Goldman from the People's Republic of New York, where he went on to a show on CBS New York with veteran news reporter Marsha Kramer talking about this issue of ICE agents wearing masks.
I asked them, I said to them, what is the point here? Are you just trying to tally more arrests? I didn't get any real response. And then I said to them, why are you wearing masks? I was a federal prosecutor for 10 years. I worked with ICE agents. I worked with law enforcement agents. I never saw any of them wear masks. This is brand new. And the question is, if everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks to hide your face?
Why are they wearing masks to hide their face, pal?
So, by the way, this is a typical example of Democrats being on the wrong side of an 80-20 issue. And first of all, you prefaced it with deporting criminals and violent people. Yes, they are doing that. But first of all, the 80-20 is the criminals.
I need to interrupt you for 1 second.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
We have a super chat from the coffee grinder towards Gene's Powder Fund. That's a reference to a show from a couple of weeks ago. Go back into the archives. I'm not explaining it. Ross, you can explain it if you want to. But that's funny as hell. Thank you so much for that coffee grinder. You're the man. You're awesome. But yeah, that's for the powder for the prep for the being on camera. So I can look.
I'm going to take a stab and say it's not going to go to Gene's Powder Fund, but okay.
We now return to regularly scheduled programming.
So back to what I was saying, the 80-20 part is the criminal, violent people that you were talking about, but an overwhelming majority support mass deportations in general, right? That's all of them. You came here illegally, you must go. And why are they wearing masks? Okay, you mentioned doxing. Doxing is the least of their worries in the sense their identities might be known. The real fear with these agents is what happens in places like Mexico. If you ever watch the federales do a raid, they're always masked up. And why is that? Because the criminal cartels, the terrorist organizations, find those law enforcement officers or military personnel, they torture them and kill them, and they also kidnap and torture their family members. So that's why they're wearing masks. ICE isn't playing around going after the guy who cut your grass, even though they should go after him too. They're literally going after cartel members, and cartel members are losing money, and they're pissed. That's why they're wearing masks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And also, a new reason why is because these Democrats are threatening these ICE agents. Check this out. Let me take down this clip. We're going to bring up another clip talking about masks, this time from House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who, by the way, you're going to see featured a lot tonight because he's just on the wrong side of everything.
Single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. That in fact is the law. And we're going to make sure that the American people have the transparency necessary to hold people accountable when they're folks who cross the line.
What the hell is going on with his pausing in this? It's not like he's on stream where sometimes we'll have a glitch out. Is he having internal glitches?
Dude, I think he's stroking out right in front of us. Like, there's something not right with this man's brain, okay? Most hardcore leftists, there's something not right with their brain, but clearly there's something wrong with him. He's unwatchable. I can't listen to this guy and take him serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Corey Grinder, who's going to be drinking all night free with us. CNN did a poll of 1,000 registered Democrats. Only 19% said the Dem Party was being effective, and 12% said the leadership was strong. Those are pretty much all-time low numbers for them. And with someone like Jeffries out in front, you got to understand why. But what is this call, my friend, about transparency? Why does anyone in government need to know who an arresting officer is or who a detaining officer is?
Well, I'm going to get to transparency in a second, but don't you also find it kind of rich, Gene, that the party of mandatory masking during COVID is lecturing us about ICE agents wearing masks? And the party that has no problem with, I just watched videos of Antifa blocking ICE trucks and fighting with cops, and they're masked up. And I never hear anyone on the left mention that. And about transparency, those officers that work for ICE, their names are public record, and you can get those. And they will appear in arrest reports and court documents, right? But there is no reason for their faces to be shown on TV during a raid. Okay, there's none, right? The people that are recording this are not doing it for public information. They are doing it with the intention of getting these people hurt, right? So there's no problem with transparency here. It's not like they're getting arrested and then it's a secret police force and there's no court hearings and their names don't appear anywhere and you don't even know which agency did it. They're clearly identified as police officers, federal police officers in this case, and their names are public record. So stop it.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're grasping at straws for any way to deter individual officers that work for the federal government from doing their job, trying to give them pause, intimating that if they are caught doing their job and we know who they are, that they will get some sort of reprisal from somebody. I mean, it seems like the case of, I forget what Emperor of Rome it was, but that said, won't someone please rid me of this man? And then someone goes and does it, It's to me, it's a situation where someone's going to get hurt because of a Democrat. But in New York City this week, and we talked about this on Monday on This Week in Democracy, there were at least 2 Department of Homeland Security officers who weren't afraid to show their face, and they were on camera going into Jerry Nadler's office on Varick Street in the People's Republic of New York City, downtown, and a staffer of Jerry Nadler's office was temporarily detained and cuffed because they physically blocked an entranceway from the DHS officers from entering, who were looking for people that possibly the office was harboring in connection with riots that were happening in an immigration court 7 floors below. Take a look at the body cam video here.
That is not what happened.
That is not what happened.
Okay?
What? Hold on a second.
Give me your contact information right now.
No, I'm going to give you time to speak to you.
Hey.
That's what I'm going to do.
We got you.
No.
We got you.
You're
okay.
I don't have to go.
You're okay. You're okay. You're going to be okay.
I'm a federal officer. We're here checking on something. We have the right to check. I'm giving you a warrant. I'm not resisting. Stop resisting. You harboring rioters in the office. So there's not a problem. Let's walk inside. Let's walk through.
For what?
Let me see what's in here. Let's go. Come on. Hold it there.
And that was what went down. The guy said, I'm a federal officer. I can come in here because I think you may be harboring rioters. And then she let him in after asking for a warrant. Warrants? We don't need no freaking warrants. We can walk in because there was a riot downstairs. By the way, Coffee Grinder checking in again, following up on that poll. Top 5 Dem picks for being leader of the party. AOC, Cory Booker, who we're going to get to a little later in this show. Stephen A. at 6%. I appreciate that. Gavin Newsom at 4%. Timu at 2%. Of course, I believe that he means Timu Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, right?
They'll do better off with Timu. Timu's
Hey, at least they deliver on time. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of things going on right now.
So with this
go ahead.
Yeah, so with those officers that were checking up there, by the way, there's an exception to the warrant rule when you're in pursuit of someone or a health and safety check, a health and welfare type check, right? They may have been harboring rioters, or they may have been being held hostage by rioters that broke into a congressman's office, right? So those agents have every right to take a quick look around, right? What if there was someone standing behind the door with a knife or a gun saying, tell them everything's fine in here, ask them for a warrant, right? These people are just so stupid and outrageous. I would hope that if there was a riot outside my house, that when the cops got here, they would do a health and welfare check in my house to make sure no one broke in and was holding me and my family hostage.
Exactly. Coffee Grinder also letting us know, even KJP announced that she has left the Democratic Party and is now independent. Don't buy that, Coffee Grinder.
The book.
Don't forget about buying the book. Don't buy the book. But don't buy that she's all of a sudden turning independent. It's a book grift. And coming from a guy who grifts books,
I was going to say,
you
can speak on this.
I can speak on this because I wrote this. Snooks, Crooks, Lies, and Scoundrels, a field guide for identifying political buffoons, available right now on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and other online bookstores.
This guy is a grifter.
It's a book grift. The title of the book is Independent. She's going to have to be an independent. And we'll be talking more about KJP, I'm going to say on Friday, just to give everybody a little hint on what's going to be coming up with Buffoonology 101. But yeah, this back on topic with the situation with ICE and uncovering masks, and Hakeem Jeffries talking like he's a broke down robot from China that looks like Obama. This guy, I can understand why he's only polling at 2% in that leadership poll that the Coffee Grinder was talking about, because the man makes all these idle, empty threats and never follows up on anything. Have you noticed that, pal?
I don't know. I'm very scared of Hakeem Jeffries. I wouldn't want to cross his red line. He might do something. Yeah, okay. The guy is a loser, and he got called out. We have a clip coming up. But first of all, let's just start here. No one is above the law. I thought they told us this, right? Didn't they say no one is above the law? So when Democrats are rioting or harboring illegal immigrants, or Democrat judges in Wisconsin are sneaking them out the back of the courthouse, no one is above the law, right? They hate ICE. When Donald Trump said that the FBI was being politicized and that the Justice Department was weaponized against conservatives, they claimed he hated law enforcement and that the Republican Party was the party of defund the police. So what's the difference now with ICE and the Democrats? Do they hate police again? First of all, they've always been the party that hated police. Like, can we be honest there for a second?
Yeah.
Right? They're just exposing what they've always been.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a little distracted because, update, we are now 1 away from 3,000.
You're not going to bully me, Gene. You're not.
I'm not going to bully you into it. But if you have the burner, now's the time for the burner. All right, make it happen, Captain. Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. You mentioned the clip. You mentioned Hakeem Jeffries and the red line. What is his red line? Can you explain it to me?
I'm pretty sure we crossed it, right? We've crossed the Rubicon here. What's he gonna do? Maybe he'll tell us. Maybe he'll tell us.
But, because usually a red line goes, if you do X, I will do Y, because that is crossing a red line. What is Hakeem Jeffries' red line? Let's go back and see. When they were talking about possibly arresting members of Congress and like LaMonica McIver, and then we did, but this was before that. So what was Hakeem Jeffries' red line?
Mr. Leader, good afternoon. What would your statement the other day after there was this incident in Newark, you said they better not touch our members.
Correct.
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members, or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do?
They'll find out.
What recourse? But doesn't that broach a...
They'll find out.
Doesn't that go across...
That's a red line.
What's the red line, though? I know we have this...
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration.
So the red line is a line that is red.
He was very clear, I thought.
Very clear. And abundant.
So basically, he ain't going to do a damn thing. Right? He said this how long ago, Gene? A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And what are the Democrats going to do? Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely. They haven't done anything.
They can't.
So wait, let's just run through it. The red line was crossed. LaMonica McIver was arrested on felony assault charges. She appeared. She was fingerprinted. Probably got mugshot, although we'll never see it. Has a court date. And they haven't responded. Jerry Nadler has his office, has DHS come to his office, handcuff one of his staffers, saying that this is fascist. What have they done about it? Well, let's go back to Hakeem Jeffries talking about his response and the Democrats' response to what happened at Jerry Nadler's office.
It's something that happened in your home state of New York. In the past couple of days, Congressman Jerry Nadler said that DHS agents entered his congressional office on Wednesday without a warrant and handcuffed a member of his staff. This, of course, comes after the Trump Justice Department charged Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver with obstructing ICE agents after an altercation at a facility in Newark, New Jersey. Now, I know you previously warned that the administration charging members of Congress was a, quote, red line. What are you doing now that the red line you talked about has apparently been crossed?
Well, let me make clear that the House is a separate and co-equal branch of government.
Whenever a politician says, let me be clear, they're never going to be clear. Just saying that right now. They are never clear. He's going to go off on a non sequitur and eventually come around to a non-answer. So check this out.
Congress. We don't work for Donald Trump. We don't work for the administration. We don't work for Elon Musk. We work for the American people.
I got to stop it, Galloway. I got to stop it. We done it. We did it thanks to the people. 3,000 subscribers live on the stream. Thank you guys so much for doing that, all that you do for us. Some people say it's a minor milestone, but I think you celebrate every single milestone. And damn it, I don't know if it's going to come up on the screen, but hang on. Maybe if I take this down and put it up. Can you see it? It might be backwards, but there it is. 3,000, baby. Congratulations to everybody in the chat, everybody who's lurking, everybody around the world. We did it. I can't believe it. It's freaking awesome.
Congrats, Gene.
Congrats to you too, my friend. Listen.
That and $8 might get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I don't know.
Ruin everything.
Now back to Hakeem Jeffries not answering a question.
And we have a responsibility to serve as a check and balance.
Whoa, hang on. What would you want to say?
No. Let's finish this. Then I got to tell you my theory on all this.
All right, we're going to do that. I'm going to take it back a few seconds here and get back to Jeffrey's full answer.
That the House is a separate and co-equal branch of government, the Congress. We don't work for Donald Trump. We don't work for the administration. We don't work for Elon Musk. We work for the American people. And we have a responsibility to serve as a check and balance on an out-of-control executive branch. That's the constitutional blueprint that was given to us by the framers of the United States democracy that we have inherited over the last few centuries. And so we're going to continue to undertake our congressional responsibility, notwithstanding efforts by the Trump administration to try to intimidate Democrats. It's unfortunate that our Republican colleagues continue to be nothing more than rubber stamps for Trump's reckless and extreme agenda. And the American people, I think, will ultimately reject that next year when we will take back control of the House of Representatives. In the meantime, in terms of how we will respond to what Trump and the administration has endeavored to do, we will make that decision in a time, place, and manner of our choosing, but the response will be continuous and it will meet the moment that is required.
What exactly does that mean? Have you not decided how to respond?
Even Dana Bash saw through the bullshit. It will be continuous. It will be when we want in a time and place of our choosing, and we'll figure out when that is when we decide what it is.
By the way, he must have missed the latest Democrat talking points, or maybe they're not doing him anymore, because he bashed Elon. Lately, the Democrats love Elon again, because Elon came out as being opposed to the current version of the big, beautiful bill, and they've been singing his praises again, including Chuck Schumer. So, I don't know, Hakeem might have got cut off from the talking points people.
Yeah, or it could have been before that as well, but any kind of thing here. It's they make it up as they go along, clearly, because Hakeem Jeffries has no response to DHS going to Jerry Nadler's office. No response whatsoever. And he was going on national TV. He knew he was going on this interview. And instead of saying that we're going to give a appropriate response to this, and that being A, B, and C, we're going to meet, we're going to put together legislation to prevent DHS from going into our offices without advance notice, whatever the case may be. I think he knows there's nothing he can do, because while Democrats may be upset about how aggressive Republicans are being towards immigration reform, specifically how the Trump administration is being, because I think we already made the point last week that Trump and the GOP are looking like two separate entities right now. What we're seeing is that Trump may be getting more aggressive with immigration enforcement, but everything he's doing is above board and legal. So there's nothing they can do about it.
So let me say first of all, I hope this is true what I'm about to say, but I feel like this conspiracy theory might be true. And this is my theory. I think that the Democrats right now are prepping the battlefield in a sense, because they know what's coming. And they also know that nothing can stop what is coming, right? What's coming is right now, they're crossing these fake red lines, and the Democrats in typical fashion are being hysterical. But when the real corruption gets exposed by Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, and the high-level arrests start happening, then the Democrats will say that Donald Trump has weaponized the justice system, and this is more of the same from what's been happening over the past few months. I hope that that's true, and I think that it actually might be true, Gene. They know what's coming.
If you like that clip from our new show, Behind the Enemy Lines, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other shows, and tune in live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.